After defeating the monster, Mark returned home and sat down on the couch, lost in thought. Eve was surprised to see him back so soon, having just watched him battle the monster on TV minutes earlier. She noticed Mark's troubled expression and asked what was wrong, but he brushed it off, saying he was just deep in thought. Eve wasn't convinced and pressed him for the truth. Mark finally revealed that he was worried about Levi Armstrong, who knew their address and could attack them at any moment. Eve was skeptical, thinking that Mark from another dimension had already taken care of Levi. However, Mark was determined to confirm Levi's demise, as he had killed him once before, but somehow, Levi had come back to life. Mark planned to travel to another dimension to eliminate Levi once and for all. Despite Eve's concerns and their ongoing argument, Mark was resolute in his decision. Later that night, Mark was abruptly awoken from his sleep with Eve. He sat up in bed, and his cell phone rang. He answered the call, and it was Rex on the other end. Rex announced that he had successfully created a device capable of interdimensional travel and had tracked Levi Armstrong's signature, allowing them to pinpoint his location. Mark and Eve headed to Rex's space base, where he explained the science behind his invention. Interdimensional travel relies on frequency shifts, Rex clarified. I've identified the precise frequency generated when angstrom was pulled from our dimension. My device will generate a field that adjusts our frequency, much like angstrom's powers, allowing us to traverse dimensions. After Rex finished explaining his device, he informed Mark that he was ready to proceed and wanted to suit up first. Mark expressed his gratitude for Rex's assistance, but Eve began protesting, leading to a prolonged and heated argument. Despite Eve's persistent pleas, Mark remained resolute in his determination to eliminate Levi once and for all. The argument reached a boiling point, culminating in Eve slapping Mark and storming out of the room. She encountered Rex near the door and sarcastically wished him fun on their mission. Rex was taken aback by Eve's unhappiness and the tension between the couple. He then activated his device, opening a portal to a parallel dimension. Upon entering, they found themselves in outer space, close to an alternate Earth. As they approached the planet, they spotted a fleet of Viltrumite spaceships hovering above. They quickly entered the planet's atmosphere, and using his advanced suit technology, Rex discovered that this Earth was under Viltrumite control. Just then, Conquest arrived, ordering them to follow him, warning that refusal would result in their immediate death. Conquest escorted Mark and Rex to the Viltrumite headquarters, led by Mark Grayson from this dimension. Upon entering, they met Emperor Mark, who was surrounded by a group of girls resembling Adam Eve, even wearing similar superhero attire. Fortunately, Mark with the Mohawk had met his counterpart before and was recognized, prompting Emperor Mark to dismiss Conquest. Mark with the Mohawk then led them to a separate room, where Invincible questioned Emperor Mark about Levi's status. Mark with the Mohawk assured them that he had already neutralized Levi, eliminating the threat. Mark requested concrete evidence, and they proceeded to the room where Levi was being held. Inside, Mark was astonished to find Levi alive, with scientists conducting experiments on him. As they approached Levi, Mark with the Mohawk revealed that he was keeping him alive solely for experimental purposes, intending to kill him once the research was complete. While Mark and the other Mark were distracted in conversation, Rex seized the opportunity to deploy a sonic pulse weapon, specifically designed to incapacitate Viltrumites. Both Marks were overwhelmed by pain, lost their balance, and fell to the floor. As they struggled, Rex took advantage of the situation, killing the scientists experimenting on Levi, and then eliminating Mark with the Mohawk using a bomb. He then beheaded Levi with a blade from his armor, killing him instantly. Rex revealed his true intentions to Mark, stating that he aimed to conquer the world and that Mark was an obstacle in his plans. He would leave Mark stranded in this dimension. Rex then opened a portal and abandoned Mark. Eventually, Mark found a way back to his own dimension and returned home to find Eve knitting on the couch, surprised to see him since Rex had informed her of his death. Eve revealed that 6 months had passed since Mark's disappearance. Mark shared his ordeal with Eve, leading to an intense argument that ended with Mark leaving the house to clear his head. Later, Mark met with Cecil and warned him about Rex's plan for global domination. Cecil was skeptical, but Mark explained that Rex's extended stay in Flaxans' dimension had corrupted him. Just then, Rex appeared, revealing that he had spent nearly 1,000 years in Flaxans' dimension. He feigned innocence, denying all accusations, but Cecil was starting to believe Mark, especially since Rex had recently been demanding access to Global Defense Agency protocols. Rex made his move, deploying a sonic pulse that immobilized Mark. He then drew a blade from his armor and slashed Cecil's neck, blaming Mark for the attack. Cecil bled profusely as Mark lay on the floor, writhing in pain from the sonic pulse. Rex then stomped on Cecil's head, killing him. Mark managed to stand and throw a punch, aiming for the head area, and destroyed the armor with a single punch. Surprisingly, no one was inside. The armor was controlled remotely by Rex. Rex communicated through the armor, instructing Mark to meet him at his house. Mark rushed home and found Rex waiting with Eve. Mark told Eve to get behind him, and Rex offered a final chance. Trust him, as he trusted the dinosaur. Rex proposed working together to make the world better, but Mark refused, having seen Cecil's murder. Rex explained that Cecil wouldn't listen and would have been stopped immediately, as he had the vast resources to do so, which was why he killed him. Mark punched Rex, triggering a sonic pulse. Rex revealed that the armor was designed to hurt Mark more with each punch, preventing him from breaking it. Mark punched again, with the same result. To prevent Eve's escape, Rex restrained her leg with metallic wire. She asked why. He told her to shut up and ripped off one of her legs. Eve was in pain. Mark went to her side, and Rex revealed that he had left Mark in another dimension because he knew he couldn't beat him. Now, hurting Eve and her unborn child was the only way to hurt Mark. Before he could finish, Eve used her powers to crush the armor, revealing that Rex wasn't inside. The armor threw a bomb at Eve. Mark shielded her and flew with her to outer space, instructing her to use her powers to survive. He rushed her to the Omni-Man base in outer space. Rex systematically targeted heroes, eliminating them one by one. No one was safe from his wrath, not even those who believed they were his allies. He didn't offer them a chance to join him or try to recruit them. He simply killed them without mercy. His victims included a barber, whom he struck down with an energy beam, and an elderly man who attempted to escape, whose head he brutally blew off. He even killed Kid Thor, destroying his hammer to prevent his resurrection. He mutilated Shapesmith, blowing up half of his body before crushing his heart to ensure his demise. Additionally, he killed Donald and obliterated the entire area, taking out Cecil's cyborg in the process. After his conquest, Rex had successfully taken over the Earth. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button.